how would you, or how do you remember Jordan Poole's time with the Warriors? And I bet there's a lot of different answers to this. So let's go to Dino in San Francisco. Hey, Dino, you're on with Willard and Dibs. What are you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hopefully I don't lose you going through the bridge tunnel here. Great question, and I don't think we need to look outside of hoops and look to football for some comparisons. First off, just how I look back, respect Jordan for the grind, turning it around, going from G League to an NBA champion. We don't chip without him, so nothing but respect.
Oh, you did lose us going through the tunnel.
No, I do every day.
Yeah, I know.
I do every day.
Yeah.
All
the tunnels.
Well, the Bay Bridge, the Treasure Island tunnel.
Yeah, Robin Williams tunnel, too, on the approach.
Yeah, it's because I think from a cell tower standpoint, you start on one side of the tunnel on one tower, and it takes a minute when you go through the tunnel for that other tower to pick up your call. So there is that little gap where you might have your call drop.
What tunnels do you keep your call in the Bay Area? 888-957-9570.
The Caldecott. I'm a two-tunnel guy right now.
Yeah, well.
Caldecott, you will keep your call.
Options there, too. Yeah. All right, Russell.
4 bores, Mark.
Russell in Oakland is next up. Hi, Russell. What are you doing?
Just sitting in the car waiting for you hoping you guys answer the phone.
Yeah, we did. Here we are.
Hello.
Thank you. So I have 2 things I'd like to get in here. One is I think I'm going to remember Jordan with appreciation and also be glad that he moved on or was moved on. But this conversation about Jordan Poole would have a lot more meaning if we know what provoked Draymond Green to hit him in the first place. Do you know that?
Well, I think we do, but we can only think we do. And in other words, it's also... I've learned this. There are a number of people who look at this in terms of what did Jordan say in that moment. I choose to look at the bigger picture, which is based on the behavior of others within the organization as well. It feels to me like Jordan overplayed his ego hand, and the organization felt like Jordan got to a point where he thought his future, his stats were more important than the Warriors' way. And I think that's the baseline that then leads to a moment in time and the Draymond punch. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, it's one way to look at it. I think to say that it leads to what happened on October 7th with the Draymond punch is a bit of a leap because he escalated that far faster and far greater than it needed to be.
Oh, I agree with that.
Escalated, yeah. But it's fascinating because you hear Steph Curry immediately in the press conference aftermath with Bob Myers and Steve Kerr saying Jordan Poole didn't change at all. He did nothing to warrant that. And
do you believe that now?
I absolutely believe it. It's Steph Curry.
I don't.
I don't believe that the chef is going to get up there and lie about. No, this is Steph Curry, Mark.
Lying is not the word for it.
What's the word for it?
These are public figures. They're
fibbing.
They're saying what they can say. You know this. I don't need to tell you this. Come on,
walk me through it, Mark.
No,
hold my hand.
I don't need to. These are massive celebrities with tons of money, tons to lose, and they are representing a multi-billion-dollar organization.
Right.
You don't go to a microphone and just tell everybody everything.
No,
you don't do that.
You also don't go up there and say, things that aren't true.
Sometimes you have to. I actually know of a story.
I would love to hear that sound if we have it on your board. Maybe we can pull that up.
Which one?
Steph's sound from October last year.
Yeah, Lucas, Grandy, you guys, Steph, in the aftermath of the punch, what did Steph say at that first press conference? We can pull that up.
And we can compare and contrast that to what he said yesterday on IG.
I can promise you not all of it's true. I can promise. Because at minimum, there's context. I'm not saying he's lying when he says, you don't punch that guy. Like, that's awful. That's out of line. But you're also going to hear things like Jordan has been fantastic this whole time. Bull. But there's nothing else you can say in that moment. What can he say? You don't do that to the young fella. That's completely out of line. Now, Jordan is a cocky SOB.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, does he drive us up the wall sometimes. But you still don't do that. You can't say that. You can't do that. I know of a story. This is a true story. Apparently, there was a baseball
It's not
team.
based on a true story?
No, it's a true story.
Okay.
Baseball team was deciding on who their next manager was going to be. They got down to the final 2 candidates, and they got down to the last question. Said, okay, organization is in a tough PR spot. Would you publicly lie for the organization? One manager said yes. One manager said no. Who do you think got hired?
The yes man.
Exactly.
They hired the yes man.
Exactly, because you have to. I'm not, and again, lie is a little bit of a firm word.
We as an organization.
Hey, Zach Littell being DFA'd had nothing to do
Exactly, right.
with what happened last night.
Exactly.
Oh, bleep.
Right.
Oh, of course it did. But what are you going to say? Zach said something to me I didn't like, so we kicked his butt to the curb. You're not going to do that. But that's the truth.
Right. But that's the manager. That's not your star player who is, Mr. Perfect,
All
quote
right,
unquote.
So what if you had a star player on the Giants when that happened and you went to him, what would he say?
He would have said, you don't ever cross Skip like that. And Skip took him in the tunnel and gave him a full earful and told him, pack your S, Z. You're gone.
I don't think that's what it said at all. I think a star player goes, you know what? I'm not out on the mound. I didn't hear what was
exactly. I wasn't there.
I didn't hear what was said.
Skip.
And boy, the heat of the battle, stuff happens. And so, we've got full faith in this clubhouse to handle any situation that comes.
Right.
Boop, bleep.
And
You're in the dugout. You heard Gabe look at Zach and go, get your butt in the tunnel right now, and you're not coming back up in this dugout ever again.
Right. Let me walk you to the visitors clubhouse,
Exactly.
and you'll be lucky to pitch here on the visitors mound.
Let me walk you to Farhan's office because there is a transaction that is about to take place.
Yeah, and Farhan, he's probably already made a trade before he even got off the mound.
Totally. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live on Twitch, YouTube, and the free Odyssey app. How are you going to remember Jordan Poole's time with the Warriors? Oh, Dino is on the other side of the bridge or the tunnel or whatever, and he's back. Hey, Dino, thanks for calling back. What you doing?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I don't know where I lost you, so hopefully I stay on between the bridge and the Caldecott.
Prayers.
Just wanted to finish my thought. Respect for Jordan and what he did. We don't really win a championship without him. But I just wonder, I don't think we have to look further than some examples in our Warriors history of some guys we let go. And for me, the question is going to be, do we feel regret or do we feel remorse, right? Remorse being stronger. So like Monte Ellis, homegrown guy, we drafted him, but, it didn't work out with him and Steph. And, when we made the trade, it hurt. But look where we are now, right? Way better, right? They just didn't fit, right? And he had a decent career and whatnot. But on the other side of it, think back to even before then, Gilbert Arenas drafted him, let him go a little early, also shipped him out to Washington, and look at the career he had. Now let's put aside what he did in the locker room. So I don't know. I just the two timeline thing was so attractive. And so I hope we're not feeling remorseful, 3-5 years out. But, hey, if we win a chip in the next 3 years, then it'll all be worth it, I think.
Well, except for Dino, thanks. I'm glad you brought up Gilbert Arenas' future career because this is something I'm going to be looking for. I certainly hope people do not shape this narrative in the future based on Jordan Poole's stats because that is one tiny aspect of an NBA career. If this is all going to be about stats, then why is Dame Lillard asking for a trade? You need more.
That's 11 years, though.
Yeah, but you need more than stats. Dame Lillard is an all-time great. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And he's sitting here looking at his career going, dude, I'm missing something.
Well, he's never been to the finals.
Exactly.
That's what he's missing.
So if Jordan
Patrick
Poole,
McCaw has 3 rings.
Right.
So it's got to be somewhere in between.
But if Jordan Poole averages 26 a game, but they only win 26 games, who cares? I don't like that's literally what I think is going to happen.
Well, he cares because he's going to get an even bigger bag the next time around.
Right, but my point is, as a Warrior fan, if Jordan averages 26 a game and they only win 26, I don't want to hear anyone go, "Oh, we gave up on Jordan. He averaged 26 a game." No, he only won 26 games. That's what matters
right.
more.
And I think it's
rub,
more
The rub on Jordan is not whether or not he can score, it's whether or not he can play smart on a winner.
And I think the rub on James Wiseman is more about that than it is Jordan Poole. I agree with you. If James Wiseman goes out and he can be 18-10, you know Detroit's not going to win because Detroit's not very good. But if he becomes a useful, productive player on a rotation for another team, especially for a coach like Monty Williams, that's going to hurt more than if Jordan Poole goes out and scores 26 a night.
I just think there are more feelings here than maybe you realize. I don't think it's going to be a big old boo fest. I don't think people, quote unquote, hate Jordan Poole. But do remember things that we hold on to. We had callers 3 weeks ago were like, you can't have Mike Dunleavy Jr. be the general manager of this team because I don't like the shot selection he had 20 years ago. Like, what? People hold on to stuff. There are people who are like Kelly Oubre. Get that name out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Because of 1 year represented by what? Some disappointing play followed by I should be a starter on this team.
Oh, he stunk.
Yeah, but people do see what Kelly did is similar to what Jordan did. In effect,
that's not fair.
Well, I'll tell you why.
That's not fair. That's not going to fly here, Buster.
Oh, yes, it will. Because
2 hours left.
In one aspect, it's true. Both of them did one thing similarly, and that was feel like their individual talent was a little bit bigger in the pecking order of a great dynasty than it should have been. Kelly's like, I'm a starter. And Jordan said what? I'm a starter. They both are like, great, Steph, Clay, Dre, super fun, but I'm amazing, and so I should be a bigger part of this.
But Jordan was way closer to amazing than Kelly Oubre Jr.
No doubt.
Which is why I think that the reception he gets is going to be different. Like when Kelly Oubre Jr. comes back, and I bet you he has already come back. I didn't follow his career that closely. There was no tribute video.
No.
There was probably no booze.
But there's
people
more,
were like, oh, that guy?
But there's more feelings, too, because there was more time and more experiences and more controversy with Jordan.
I think because there's more feelings, it's more positive feelings. And as time goes on,
that's true, too.
I don't believe that, and maybe it depends on when they actually come back. If Washington doesn't come here until March, and the Warriors at that point are 48-22, well, it's going to be easier to let bygones be bygones.
What if they're 22-48?
Then you're going to maybe be more likely to boo him.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think there's any reaction that's going to be across the board. I don't think there's going to be unity in the fan base with regard. I think that's why this is a fun question. How are you going to remember Jordan Poole's time with the Warriors? Mike in Santa Clara next up. Hey, Mike, you're on with Willard and Dibs. What are you doing?
Gentlemen, how are you doing?
What's up?
Not much. Just about to go hit a 9-hole course over at Prune Ridge.
Hey, look at you.
Yeah, I know. So, and also belated happy 4th to you and Dibs as well.
Thank you, sir.
So, yeah, I guess for me, I'm torn between when JP comes back and I'm looking at the stats and everything, and he's put up pretty similar numbers outside of points scored within the playoffs to regular season. If you really want to put it as, he was a regular season hero. But the points scored compared to the other stats outside of points scored, that's where I'm just very torn, especially that we gave him up. But I think it was the right move to do. I just don't know about the capital that we got back from it. And I know we're trying to get, CP off the books, and then Clay will be coming off the books as well. But I'm just trying to figure out exactly, what our next move is outside of that after the JP move. But overall, I'm torn between, if you want to say applauding or booing JP. I think I'm just going to stand up and not even do anything.
Well, thank
you, Mike.
And similar
enjoy Prune Ridge. Tell him, Dan Dibley, and see how far that gets you in the clubhouse. I'm a big deal down at the Ridge.
That's going to be full price for you, Mike. Full price.
Might even charge you a little extra.
Exactly.
Best of luck to you, Mike.
Call it the Diver tax.
I took my son on a golf trip when he was about 10, and we did all the 9-hole courses in the South Bay. We actually got a hotel room down there in Los Gatos. It was pretty fun. Something you should think about for your little one, because there's a bunch of fun 9-hole courses around the Bay Area So we researched all the 9s. Prune Ridge was one. Blackberry Farms was another. We played Lost Hills, which is an 18, all like short par 4s and par 3s down in Cupertino. A lot of fun things to do down there in the South Bay.
Yeah, I think Mike also, though, has sort of what may in a way be a majority opinion, which is that we can't figure out our opinion yet. Like, and so maybe you do nothing, and non-action is action. Like, that is an answer. Like, if you don't even know, this guy scores 20 a game and has a ring, and you don't even know if you want to cheer him, that says a lot to me. I'm not saying that. I don't think very many people will boo. I think there's going to be some of that awkward crowd noise where it's like, we're undecided.
Sure.
Well,
and you're not wrong, Mark, because, and you have said this to me, and you've used my own words, you've weaponized it against me.
Damn right.
In our old show thread, how many times it's like, he's unplayable, take him out, stop playing it, and all the rest of it. And my wife, the great Supper, will tell you how many times last year in the playoffs, oh, Jordan, or come on, Jordan.
Oh, dude.
Like, how many of those did you let fly throughout the course of a series?
There is
Jordan
on my phone during Warrior games.
Oh, boy, here we go.
If I had to give a percentage pie of Warrior player names that show up, and it's funny, too, because I don't even really like pie. Much more of a cake guy. Anyway, the percentage of Warrior names that were either Jordan, Poole, or JP, I got it. It's north of 60%.
I want to go back to our old show thread with the great Kyle Madsen and Espadoni and me and you, because that was at the height of what we were doing last year, especially in the playoff run. And just search for Poole and just read all the comments that we were throwing out.
Clay is probably second.
Yeah.
But Jordan Poole gets called out on my phone north of 60% of the time when a Warrior's name comes up. That's just the way it is.